8 out of 36, marking the first time since 1991 that the average score was below 20. Test scores now are optional for first-year student admission at many institutions. Some colleges, such as the University of California system, even opt for a test-blind policy where scores are not considered even if submitted. It doesn't make sense, Bill, to continually lower standards and somehow hope and dream that performance levels are going to rise. Your thoughts?
Well, we lowered standards on the SAT, now the ACT, so the response of most parents, citizens, is, well, let's raise the standards. Response to the institutions of higher education, let's drop the test. Let's just not use that test anymore. Let's dispense with it. By the way, we're setting records, high records, in terms of spending on American education, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I want to read this because Alan Dershowitz talked about this. We know he's a lawyer, but he talked about this and weighed in. And I find his perspective interesting. He writes the following, quoting here, academic standards, since we're talking about them, in general have been consistently lowered over the past several decades. That should come as no surprise because standards for admission to colleges and universities have been lowered as well, to the extent that meritocracy is replaced by other factors such as identity politics. The standards will continue to diminish. And I think that's a fair assessment because you see meritocracy kind of ebbing away, Bill.
Yeah, Alan Dershowitz, by the way, is a professor as well as a lawyer. He was my professor. Said I was the best conservative student he ever had. Notice that modifier, conservative student. Anyway, and then he said the same thing to Ted Cruz, so I don't know who he's talking about. But look, yeah, this is the case. Mediocrity is all over higher education. There are very few really selective institutions now, and many of those selective institutions have decided not to be selective on the basis of SATs or ACTs or scores and grades and how much you know, but on your identity politics. There's a game being played in admissions offices where people change their names to have an appropriate or a preferred last name to a obvious Anglo-Saxon one, and that may get you in. This is creating a lot of cynicism about the whole system, which is entirely appropriate. Is college worth it is a question that a lot of parents are asking now that they hadn't asked before. It's the right question to ask. Costs a lot. Are you getting your money's worth?
Yeah, you bring up parents, and I want to put this poll up because this is about parents who are extremely or very concerned about, and you see right there, inflation is #1.